All right, welcome everyone. Another amazing episode of Drink While You Think. We got boxes filled up more than just me and Matthew here today, but I'm your host, Kenji, my co-host, Matthew. Wave Matthew. Matthew, do we have a sponsor?
Now that it's a podcast too, that I need to actually speak. So thanks.
Speak.
Appreciate
Okay.
that.
I can tell people. Who's our sponsor today, Matthew?
Yeah, we still don't have a sponsor.
Oh, we don't have a sponsor. Once again.
But if you would like to sponsor, as always, just send us beer, and then you will be the sponsor. We will drink your beer online, and then whatever beer you send us, we'll drink live, and then you will be the sponsor of the episode. It's that simple, folks.
It really is that simple. And so here's I think we may have a potential sponsor if we treat him right today. Our guest, the one and only Mr. David Emmerman. Howdy, Dave.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing out there?
Oh, they're doing fantastic. All three people are doing great, or four who are listening. It's going to be amazing. Hi, Dave. The way it works, we just kind of told you at the top, but like you got to give us a little quick rundown of who in the hell are you and what are you doing and what are more, then finish it with more importantly, what are you drinking? So Dave, tell everybody who are you and what are you doing?
So first off, thank you guys for having me today. So currently, I'm the head of enterprise for Xero in the US. But in a previous lifetime, which was a couple of years ago, I also ran a practice, and I ran a practice for close to 20 years, probably 19, before we actually ended up selling the practice a couple of years ago. Practice was based up in New York. We had one partner and about 60 staff or so, kind of at the height. And we had 6 locations spread around the New York area, running around like crazy, trying to find all the traffic hotspots, or trying not to find all the traffic hotspots. But we did a lot of, when I was in practice, I did a lot of virtual CFO work and outsourced accounting work. And we had a pretty big tax shop that we did a fair bit of tax as well. And that's where I kind of grew up with it.
Nice.
Okay. I was born to 2 accountants. So I kind of grew up in the practice before we eventually took over my father's practice, and he decided to work for us for about 10 years as he migrated up and back from Florida. So
not to have to give a plug to another podcast. We want people to stay here, but like you're saying you're a son of a CPA. Is that correct?
I am. Yes.
Oh, I've heard there's somewhere else out there. There's someone else who are sons of CPAs who talk, but I don't know if I'd recommend that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good as long as you can keep the main host on track. It's pretty good. No, I'm just kidding. Sons of CPA is a great podcast if you get a chance to check it out.
It is great. It is great.
What are you drinking, Dave?
Yeah, what do you got today?
All right. So I decided to bust out some Blantons.
Ooh.
So I'm doing some Blanton's rocks.
Oh, solid there. All right, Matthew, what are you? Are you going liquor? I know you're not a huge liquor guy, but are you going beer?
I'm going beer, but I'm going. This is 3 Taverns, a local brewery. Tango on Ponce. It's a tangerine IPA. So I'm not a normal IPA guy, but those of you that have watched before know that I'll drink them if they have the some citrus component. So.
Okay, you may like that one. I'm a fan of that one. I like that one there. All right, I'm going with the Wicked Weed. He's a freak of nature. One of my favorite breweries, Wicked Weed, out of
I haven't seen
North Kakalaka.
What kind of beer is the freak? I've seen
Wicked
Weed.
This guy is a punch you in the face double IPA, like 8.5. Let's just get the weekend going right here. So yeah, I'll be doing this. Cheers, gentlemen.
I think the Blanton's is close to 8.5.
I'm sure it is. Dave.
Oh, Kenji's a beer snob. He pours his beer in a glass. Dave, if you don't know this about Kenji,
he's got a tulip glass too. Not only
it's a tulip glass. It's
He's going to be experiencing the aromatics shortly.
He has consistently disappointed me for not pouring my beer in a glass to consume it. Okay, Kenji, what do you got on tap for us, man?
So Dave, you're the son of a CPA. And so in college, you went, I'm sure you went and got an accounting degree, right? That was what you went to college for?
Mm-mm.
That was a setup. I know that's not true. Matthew, but Matthew has not looked. So, okay, I'm going to see if Matthew can I'll give Matthew a couple guesses. Dave did not in his undergraduate go accounting. Can you guess what David Emmerman's undergraduate degree was in?
I want to either say computer science or engineering.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good guess. I originally went to Northeastern for computer science.
I thought I saw that on LinkedIn, but give the but.
But my undergraduate degree is in English, actually.
Is in English?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been way down my list. So.
Yeah, that was an interesting turn there all of a sudden, Dave.
Yeah. So I had a little foyer into thinking I wanted to be a teacher for a little while, and ended up like growing up being in a math or mathematical type of family. Math always came pretty easy to me, and so I decided to do the complete opposite of that and go get a literary type degree, which was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. And I think what was interesting about it was that as I got out of school and went back to school for accounting, it was the literary components that I had learned around how to analyze literature that helped for me to understand what tax code looked like and read constantly, and try and decipher and think critically around what I was reading. That probably helped me more than ever before. And now I can draft the most eloquent emails ever.
I believe that.
I can see that. My wife has a degree in English, and you don't ever want to get into a discussion that you need to win if it's happening over email. It's going to be eloquent and well spoken, and I just sound like a caveman.
Well, and you're going to misplace a comma and lose the argument accidentally. So
interesting, Dave.
And that was even the more interesting part. Was I was so heavy on the critical thinking piece, I didn't my grammar was total shit. So when apps like Grammarly came along, that was the best thing that ever happened
to you.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay, I don't think I've ever heard that before of a lit degree helping with tax code, being able to handle that. But that's
no, my critical writing classes like from high school and college were one of the best things for when I made manager and partner. I had to write 1-page memos on technical memos. I was like, oh yeah, I was going straight back to those courses, because so much of it, on the audit side, at least when you get into the technical issue, it's all about reading and then summarizing and crafting that point really tightly. So I agree with Dave. That was really helping me more than I was so glad I had taken a couple of the writing courses I did in college. So
it actually it helped a lot when dealing with looking at acquisitions and how we were trying to position things as we were growing, because any of the legal stuff that was coming through, I was breezing through that stuff and could pick out the legalese a lot easier. And even now in the role that I'm in now, I deal with that stuff constantly. So it's amazing how that degree, although you would think it was like the Dead Poets Society happening up in New Hampshire, it actually was pretty beneficial. And it was amazing. I had some great professors that were just that were so smart about how they were thinking about literature and how they would dissect things, that it was a great experience to go through.
But do you still, do you occasionally stand up on your desk and recite and passionately quote tax code, just like it's poetry, like it was in Dead Poet Society? Is that how you kind of,
No, I do get up on the desk, but the tax code piece has since left.
Hey,
That
where
gets
did you
picked up and thrown
did
the floor.
you end up getting your degree at Northeastern, or did you go somewhere else to finish?
No, I ended up finishing up at Keene State up in New Hampshire.
Awesome.
And then when I went back for accounting, I went to CW Post in Long Island, so Long Island University.
Cool.
Man. So so we,
So this is a random crossover in our lives. My wife is from Post, Texas, which CW Post founded. So
Really?
yeah,
I'm kidding.
it's and 4,000 people are from Post, Texas. So how random that is.
wow, worlds colliding right here from Long Island right to Texas.
CW Post connection right there. Me and Dave.
Wait, real quick, like because we went there, like who's CW Post?
Post Toasties, Post cereal.
Oh,
CW
Post
Post?
cereal. Okay, that's okay, interesting. I did not
Now
know
we're schooling Kenji here, Dave.
About that.
I know. I mean, sorry, my breakfast cereal game. I got to up that a little bit. Sorry about that.
Awesome.
Well, CW Post is located kind of in that Gold Coast area, so that's where that would make sense that that's where Post was.
Okay. So no, like I thought you were like a book nerd or something. Are you not just like reading tons of? I mean, do you have? Are you still? You still have that kind of a passion for books and literature? Or is it it was an interesting side thing you did in college?
So it goes in spurts. So I will pick up reading and read a whole bunch. But what I've noticed is like the taste of what I like to read has totally changed. Right. And this is going to make me feel older than I probably want to feel. But like, real fiction, like real accounts of stuff that's been happening in the world. Like that stuff really actually seems to resonate a little bit more with what I want to read. Less of the literary James Joyce type stuff that didn't quite sit as well.
Well, maybe not quite the romantic that you were when you were young in college. That's okay, Dave. We all have to grow up and and get real accounting jobs sometimes. So that's okay. Okay. So you're rocking the Xero shirt. We need to settle this once and for all. Why should people never use QuickBooks and only use Xero? Let's make sure people know exactly why. So, okay.
Because
Matthew,
right? They won't solicit your employees. Did you see that this week?
No.
Someone had their employees solicited by QuickBooks because Xero has a support team that answers the call with a human. I could do this better than you probably, Dave, because I can be real and you have to be politically correct. Why, Dave? What
accurate,
what else?
But then, no, seriously, they stole some. I mean, what, for QuickBooks Live or something, or for what?
They sent recruitment literature to somebody's, like to the firm, to the employees, but to the firm's address. So Intuit sent, hey, be a QuickBooks Live bookkeeper. It'd be like if we got in our box things for everybody, like letters to each of our employees from Intuit, trying to recruit them to be in QuickBooks Live.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's not exactly the human thing to do if that's, if it's the partners that you're working with.
It's a true thing that happened this week. Sorry, that was just this week. That's just fresh. So
yeah, I think when you look at the market and how SaaS companies kind of work, and you guys know this really well, given a lot of your clients are in that space, there's a couple different pathways that people can take. If they're taking a dual kind of approach where they're approaching the market from a direct to consumer perspective, and they're also approaching the market through a partner channel, at some point they've got to choose what that path is going to look like. And Xero's clearly chosen the accounting professional as that primary channel. We do have a direct channel, but internally we repeat constantly about okay, how do we leverage the direct channel for our accountants, bookkeepers? And I think that's one thing that's front and center, and that's a part of everybody's DNA here at Xero. And I think that's a huge part as to why you'd want to make that choice day in, day out. All the other stuff, open APIs and the ability to build into the application and the support you get around that. Like at some point that'll become at parity with other folks. It comes down to the people.
Yeah. So it sounds like, okay, you're going to get the accountant channel is much more important, and partnerships are much more important through Xero. They also don't go and try to steal and hire your employees. And I just like the color blue more than green. That's kind of I don't go in as much depth as you and Matthew do, but I think it's nicer. It's more
if
beautiful.
You step back at the 50,000 foot view, I think there's a huge philosophical difference, right? Like Xero wants to work with people, and QuickBooks wants to do everything themselves optimally. Like QuickBooks' preference is that everything would be in-house. They would be their bank, they would be their merchant processor, they would be their payroll provider, they would be their accountant, they would be everything. And Xero would say, we're going to be your GL, and then we're going to partner with all the great people that do everything else to have a better ecosystem. And it's a big, different philosophical thing that influences getting letters at your office for your employees to get solicited to go work there. So, I mean, that's the underlying thing, I think.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Matthew May, I'm not sure if I'm breaking news or I'm not supposed to, as a new member of XPAC, right? Listen to him carrying the banner there. Listen to him. I mean, this man really, he loves Xero. I mean, we're just going to go and use that as a soundbite and give that to the folks at Xero to use. I mean, come on.
I'm speaking truth. So.
Yeah, so we were all on XPAC, which is the irony. I got kicked off because I became an ambassador.
Is that the reason why, Dave? I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure there wasn't anything else nefarious that happened, or no kidding.
I don't think so. But it's interesting because XPAC is the type of thing that kind of personifies what we were just talking about, right? Bringing people in, and the XPAC environment is designed so that, and for those of you out there that don't know what it is, it's Xero's partner advisory committee. It's designed to bring folks in to get a raw download of what the partner's perspective is of the application, and in doing something about it, right? And that's the biggest piece to it. And there's varying, like, influencing roadmaps and moving a large ship is difficult, but XPAC is one of those things that's kind of reigned true throughout the years as something that that's of value to folks. And it's interesting because when I crossed over the line and I started learning more about internal teams that want to be at those events, like they want to be there to learn from the partners, because they don't have direct connections like a sales team would have to partners. And we're a good voice for that, but we're not always the best voice. We're usually not the best voice.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's we've been on a number of different partner advisory councils or partner things. I mean, I'll say it very clearly, and I've said it to other partners. Being on XPAC was by far the best experience working with in a partner program, by far. It's just well thought out. It's a great community. It's a lasting community, one that we keep up with still all the time, maybe sometimes too much based on how, I think David, we said how much often our text messages blow up from XPAC, current or previous XPAC members. But it's a great community, and Xero is incredible putting that together, and a lot of deep relationships with folks at Xero. So it's exciting. Matthew, you're gonna have a good time. Just try to behave yourself.
I'm looking forward to it.
Try to behave yourself. So.
I just got to do the hi everybody meeting so far, so I haven't dug in. So my first meeting is January. That's when
You didn't scare them off yet?
No, I wasn't the one that scared him off. There's other people that scared him off probably in that one, but
was it a son of a CPA that scared him off?
A Southern? Yeah,
son of a CPA.
The son of a CPA.
No, he wasn't there. So-
That's true. They've already set the bar, so you should be okay there.
No, Scarano and Lee both missed the first one that I was
Well,
on.
and listen, I had Ackerman in mine too, so he was in my class as well. So we had all the
So,
as it
but
went.
without Scarano and Lee, it was a lot.
Pretty tame.
There was pretty tame. Not a whole lot of mixing it up yet. So,
Okay,
but
yeah,
so Tony and Ben got it easy the first one. So.
okay. I'm going to kick it over to a little theoretical question for you both. Okay, you go and raise $110 million. For Xero, that's not a big deal, but like, let's just say you're a decent size, $110 million, and you got to go spend it. I guess you could go create a crazy accountant movie studio if you wanted to, if you're Flowcast. What other like weird, crazy shit like would you kind of marketing would you do if someone just gave you, $110 million? I mean, you guys saw this, right?
I saw the trailer. I haven't.
That's
seen
all they
it.
have so far, but it's apparently like
Gonna be episodes.
it looks like it's half the Office crew, except
Well, that's what
except for
happens when you're based in the LA area. I mean, that kind of makes sense. At this point, they probably have a couple studios open and free for use there. But
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So how would we frivolously spend
Yeah,
VC money?
what would be the
if we
things
were
you
in
want?
if we were in a software startup or we're like doing something crazy?
Go for an accounting tech company, right? I mean, all of us know, like Dave works in one now. We work with them. I don't know. Let's say you get an accounting tech company, Matthew. What's going to be like, okay, the craziest, weirdest, biggest splash you want to make with 110 million?
you mean besides an all expense paid trip to Bora Bora?
I was like,
yeah.
you don't have to look past Expensify for the
I was going to
crazy
say,
shit. Like a Super Bowl ad where you're like
two chains,
like
two chains, and yeah,
and then like, or an all expense paid trip to Bora Bora that we pass on and give to Sammy. Oh man, that was dumb.
You guys passed on that trip? Oh man.
We sent Sammy.
It was one of our other team members. Yeah, it was. I think I know mine. I think. What about you go and you send.
I know what I do. I know.
I'm out. I'm still going. What are you interrupting me for? God, it's terrible. You sound like the sons of CPAs here, Matthew. We're more professional than that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to put somebody on one of Elon's rockets, just like Michael Strahan did. We're going to send the first accountant to space. We're going to like do some kind of raffle, and we're going to send the first accountant to space, sponsored by Acuity or some crazy thing like that, right? And get a bunch of headlines, and we'll be like Elon Musk and Bezos and all that. There we go. That's mine.
Naming rights for an NFL stadium. That's what I'm doing.
It's going to be Acuity Stadium instead of Mercedes.
I mean, it's like, are you going to Acuity today? Yeah, let's go to the Acuity.
I don't want that. Our football team hasn't won in 2 years. That would just kill me.
He said a NFL team, not the Falcons.
I didn't say Acuity would do that. You said if I was an accounting tech company.
I know. I'm just saying
I was thinking if I like I'm trying to get into Barrett's head here and be like, I want to see Expensify Stadium somewhere.
Okay. That wouldn't be the craziest thing they've ever done.
That's coming. That's the old Raiders Stadium. I'm thinking like you throw a massive party on a massive yacht at your user convention, and the winner of set contest, whatever the hell the contest looks like,
yeah,
on that boat, like gets to move their office into that boat for a year. Travel around the world.
Tax free in international waters.
Yeah. The prize is donated once they pass 50 miles out.
That's actually, yeah. Accountants be like, wait a minute, I can go, yeah, in international waters and not have to pay.
Buy an island. People buy
You mean like that concert? What was it, Fry?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fire
like whatever
fire
it's called.
festival.
Fire
Fire festival. Yeah.
We'll have our own
Yeah.
fire
We
festival.
could buy an island. That's a
Buy the fire festival island and try to rehab it. Like, okay, we're
But in which jurisdiction?
that's true. There'd be a
no,
lot
it
of
would be
debate about
our
that.
jurisdiction. We would buy the island. We would make our own country. That would be my
Start
startup.
creating
thing to
your own
do.
tax code. And
Oh yeah, you like just
You
like
could base the currency purely on some sort of cryptocurrency.
oh yeah.
Really?
Well, I would create a cryptocurrency.
cryptocurrency or number of
that then
seashells,
people, like,
number
are
of
stupid enough to
seashells on
buy
the
it.
beach. You
I
could go
got the
crazy.
proceeds.
Yeah, it'd be.
Yeah.
You could do it like, yeah, get them almost be like a Lord of the Flies mashed up with some kind of crazy crypto thing. It'd be great. You could do
Okay.
a
And
reality
you could have your
TV
friends
show.
on their yacht that they just won, and
Oh
you know,
my
like,
gosh.
some-
I feel like we
this
just
could be like the taxi yacht.
I hope we just spoke some of these into existence for some of the new people
right,
making-
right.
raising a bunch of money.
It's all gonna start with Dave's yacht. That's where it's gonna be all unveiled. And then the corporate sponsorship at the Super Bowl will be in Matthew's new stadium, and we'll send people up into space as part of a reality TV show that maybe starts on an island that's owned. You
could launch this. You could launch your thing from our island.
right.
No.
right.
Okay, here we go.
Maybe
Let's tie
try
it all
and land
together.
there.
Yeah, can you
So-
title in? Yeah, here we go.
So in one of the coastal cities, we name the rights of a stadium that then the yacht picks everybody up for to take them to the island to shoot off the rocket.
And we're done.
There we go.
That should easily blow 110 million.
I think we can get
We
there.
We could blow the whole wad right there. So-
And this is
Or we
why
could
people
build-
tune in.
Or we could just build some cool AI to do something.
Yeah, okay, maybe. It sounds a little too practical, but
Oh, it's
why would you do that? So, I mean, these are the important topics and things we get into on Drink Why You Think. This is why the listenership is up to 35 people. It's really, this is the hard hitting. And this is
Hard-hitting
probably
stuff.
why someone like Xero would love to sponsor this.
I feel like the VCs are already commenting once we've gotten to this point in the show. They're already commenting on
They are.
asking for addresses and phone numbers.
This is where all the emojis of the thumbs up start going right at that point back there, and like fire, yeah, all those things. Everyone's really.
Oh, this is the 5-star rating on the podcast too.
It is. This is gonna be big.
Awesome.
all
What else you
right.
got, Kenji?
One more question, then we'll rate our drinks. So, okay, if I remember right about head of enterprise at Xero, you got to be in the top 1,000 firms, something like that, or 10,000 firms, is it 300? Top 300. Okay.
Top 300 CPA firms.
CPA firms. What does that break down to? Like, where is that like from a revenue perspective? Like, what do you got to be over?
So the top 400, so we're top 300, but top 400 comes down to about 20 million, maybe 25 million in revenue.
Okay. Dang, we gotta
Top 300 is probably 40 to 45 million.
Man,
Oh, that's different than the number I thought.
we got some work to do, Matthew.
Hold on, let's get you the real number. Hold on.
No, I thought it
He's
was
gonna give us a
lower.
real number. Hold on.
It's gonna be a real number.
I think you're thinking top 200, dude. At the
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, top 300 is coming down to that.
top 300 is like 20, right?
20 million, yeah.
Okay.
But top 400 is like 7 or 8, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, okay.
Most of them are willing to apply to be on the list and maintain that status.
So if we keep going, maybe in a couple years we'll be in.
We
within
have
range.
to also submit to accounting today our numbers if we want to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or
That seems like a lot of work.
And be a real CPA firm, which we're actually not.
No, I don't know. I think
No,
if we
no,
submitted
no,
our
no,
numbers,
there's-
they'd be fine.
Oh, you can
No.
be.
Yep.
Okay.
Because there's even there's companies like the Siegfried Group that's on there.
Okay.
If you're
Yeah.
familiar with them, but they do placement of accounting teams, and they're actually pretty high up on that list.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe we get a shot.
Oh, we got a shot at the top 400. We're top 400 now. If we wanted to be, you're like if we submitted this.
Maybe
stuff.
if Dave just adds a couple more team members and then he has the bandwidth to go down to the top 400, we'll be in, Dave's universe, which, is, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I kind of like it as being an aspirational thing for us. Plus,
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of like our account rep better than Dave.
Oh,
totally fair.
Sophia's great. Yeah, that's fair. She's
She's
great.
pretty good.
But then again, we aspirationally, if we get beyond that, we go to Dave.
Oh, but I wouldn't
we
have
go
to deal with
rich.
Dave. I would have to deal with somebody that worked with Dave.
Be
So that's good.
rich.
Yeah.
So okay, it's all
And
good
that would
things.
make it full circle.
Yeah,
full
then we go
circle.
full circle. It's all good things. Okay, so we can go that way. All right. Well, that's what people need to understand. If you'd like to spend, actually, that's one way that you get to spend more time with Dave Emmerman. Is just you got to grow your firm to get it to a size where you can be labeled enterprise. That's one way. I think the other way is I've been thinking about, and maybe it's talking about these crazy ideas, but everybody's got a show these days. Sons of CPAs, whoever else, us. You need to show, and I think it's not very creative in my head, but like, why not late night with Dave Emmerman? Just like a spiff off of Letterman. And because I've frankly been in lots of situations where there's been late night with David Emmerman.
I'm sure that's confirmed.
or that should be something recorded.
It's okay to be recorded. It's just not confirmed.
I don't know that
May
it's
or may
zero
not have been
response
there
to that.
for some of those nights.
Matthew, welcome to XPAC. Get ready. This is where, you've started entering the late night with Dave zone, because that's
I've been to
a
a
couple.
casino late at night with Dave. I remember that. I don't
Only
even remember
one?
what city we were in. What city were we in when we went?
Boston.
Oh, we were in Boston.
Boston. Okay.
Who knew there was even a casino in Boston?
I did not, but
I
you
thought
did.
the closest one was in Connecticut. So when we said we're going there, I'm like, this is a bit of a ride.
Who found that one?
I
Then
think that was Dave.
that was Dave.
Who did find it?
It was, that was post a Red Sox game too, wasn't it? Weren't we?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was right after Red Sox game. It was during a Countex.
Yeah, it was Caltex, Red Sox
Caltex,
game.
Boston.
And then,
That's what it was.
Yeah.
so
I would encourage everybody
It was
listening to
Kenji
come
that started
to
all that stuff.
I might have been involved
all
with
these
that.
conversations.
It's probably true, but I would say that's another way is go to accounting conferences, look for late night shenanigans and fun, and you'll also get a chance to work with Dave Emmerman, even if you're not in an enterprise group. That's my hack. That's my way.
I think we should start really plugging ZeroCon New Orleans May. Like I think that's the next thing. And I think we should all go there. Everybody should get everybody, and we should all the great people.
I don't understand how people are not going to go to ZeroCon New Orleans. That's going to be just.
It's gonna be
May 2022, everybody. So what's the date?
I believe it's
The 20,
The 20-something, right?
near the end of the month.
I
It
think
is.
it's the 25th, 24th, 25th, or 25th, 26th. 25th,
25th,
25th, 26th of May.
So we're gonna be there. Dave's gonna be there.
I'm definitely gonna be there. Yeah.
Dude, I hope all of our friends come out because I miss them and want to see them in person, and hopefully everybody listening like
That's the best.
gets
That
all
is
their friends out,
the
'cause I want to meet some new people too.
we said it before to everybody. We've said it many times on this podcast. That is the best conference out there, hands down, is ZeroCon. It's our favorite. It's
Best
our favorite.
accounting
Our favorite.
conference.
Our favorite by far.
Best
Yeah.
accounting conference out there. So.
Emerging from this craziness in New Orleans, I mean, just it's going to be a thing.
So, yes, hopefully we don't lose anybody and everything will be a lot of fun. But
Yeah, I think that's probably something that everybody should plan on going, but I think also people should probably plan on, depending on how many, I'm going to set it like if you should bring all your team or many of your team members, but probably you'll lose 10 to 20% of them. You're going to lose them. I mean,
they may or may not come back from the Rollins.
they may not.
They're gonna fall off. It's gonna be pretty bad.
They may not.
Wow.
Okay.
New Orleans is just such a cool place to go and visit anyways, that, it'll be, and I don't know if you guys have attended conferences there, but you go to the conference center, it's down by the water. You leave the conference center and everybody just kind of disperses, but you find all of them on Bourbon Street at some point.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It's a fun experience, and ZeroCon being down there, it's just a great city to be able to go back to that kind of community feeling that.
Yeah,
that
we
you-
need to. Yeah, we need to get like Lazanis to put out to all of his people, like all of you guys in Future Firm come here, and then Stats with all his people, like all of you people come here. Like if we got all Stats and Lazanis's people and all these like
You get it.
common,
I
like,
think,
I
you're gonna
think
get people.
I think we have a good group coming on top of the normal, on top of the regulars. So
I think it'll be a good, yeah, it'll be a good crew out there. I have a good feeling for this. And plus, I think we just need to get the Queen of New Orleans, Ambassador Amanda Aguilar, just to kind of, lead the parade, just like people from New Orleans do. Lead the parade through, and like listen, she'll.
dude, instead of a
All
pub
that-
crawl, we should do a freaking parade. Like we did that pub crawl when we came to Atlanta. We should do a parade. We could pull that off, dude.
We can burn through this 110 million. We can burn through quickly.
We can
build
burn through
the
this stuff, like,
accountant's
you could use
parade.
Mardi Gras parade sponsor. Expensify sponsors Mardi Gras parade. That could totally happen.
All right, well, let's land this plane.
Is Dave Barrett giving away a Tesla at ZeroCon too? So
I don't know. What I last heard was the sponsorship booths were almost all taken up. So pretty exciting. I mean, it's, and they're looking at hopefully well over 1,000 people attending this year. So
I hope so.
That'll be
It's gonna be
great.
fun.
That'll be awesome.
and only 2/3 of those are zeros. I'm just kidding. 1,000 partners plus 0 people.
Nice.
And in years past, there was always the people that work at Xero beg, borrow, and steal to be at the event. It's not just a matter of like the accounting partners that want to be there. Like the people that work there really want to be there, and they're working the whole time. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of FOMO that kind of gets built around ZeroCon. So
FOMO. Now you're talking Kenji language.
My language.
King
Just
of FOMO.
King of FOMO right here. So
having it or creating it.
Oh,
a
no,
bit of
having
both,
it.
but I have it more than I create it. But yeah, I'm just in the world of FOMO. Don't tell me about something fun that everyone's doing. And if I've got a conflict, I've got a real internal struggle. It's brutal.
I feel like I've seen this in action.
You
I
have.
feel like I've seen this play out actually.
You've been there for this. You will be there for this in the future. It's a real thing for me. So I'm glad to hear that at least other folks at Xero feel the same way I do.
Yeah, you have. Sounds good.
Okay, let's rate some drinks. I've got let me pull it up here. Again, come on, people, follow Matthew and I on Untapped. I'm giving Freak of Nature, I'm giving it a 4.25. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Could be the high ABV on this, but hey, I liked it. Good, solid IPA from one of my favorite breweries. It'll go 4.25. Matthew, remind me again, you're drinking the
Tango on Ponce.
100 IBU beer. No kidding.
it's
Mine's a
got, yeah, the
7.5.
IBUs are high on that one.
I'm
Tango.
going. The Tango on Ponce is a 7.5. It's a tangerine IPA. I'm gonna go 4.25 as well.
What? Wow.
I was like, that's about as high as I get for an IPA. So
That's as high.
I'm a stout and porter drinker, Dave.
That
so,
is
like,
as high as you get
that's
there.
as-
So,
That's like a 5 for me for an IPA.
but Dave, what about that? What about that?
Now I know what to go look for when I hit up the brewery later on.
Yeah, Dave. What about
Now,
that Blanton?
like a good stout with
on the
coffee
rocks?
or
What do
chocolate?
you let Dave rate his? Is Blanton good old solid Blanton's on the rocks?
I would give it a really solid 4
Mm-hmm.
for a bourbon, if
Yep.
not be slightly higher. It's better than what I would go to normally,
Yep.
but I brought it out for the special occasion of being on today. So,
Oh,
but
Yeah.
yeah, I'd give it at least a 4.
Awesome.
we are honored, and we will definitely be planning on sharing drinks with you in New Orleans. I have a feeling we'll be sharing a few rounds of drinks even before May gets here. That's kind of our current plan, but we appreciate you coming on, sir.
Thank you.
As
Thanks for having
always.
me.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.
And we'll catch you next time. Cheers.